They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet, gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen, in Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now.
Hello and welcome to the Farmer's Kitchen. We're the farmers. This is our kitchen. We're getting ready to eat.
I'm starving, of course.
Do you know what inspires good meals?
What?
Sometimes bad food.
Okay, that's true.
Now, not necessarily bad food, but let's say the night before we went to hear some great musicians play, and we had some bar food that was good at the time.
Right.
But you wake up in the middle of the night and say, "Oh my, what did I do?"
Yeah.
So you know what I did last night when I was taking indigestion medicine?
What'd you do?
I thought about a good meal. And it possessed my mind, woke me up, couldn't stand it.
You did get up and tell me in the middle of the night what you
I
wanted
wrote
to
it
make.
down exactly what I wanted. And everything came to mind. Now this is a good country meal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing fancy and it's entry-level stuff, but it's just what I wanted. So I passed it by you to see if I had your approval. You said, yay.
At 3 in the morning.
3
I
in
said
the morning.
yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you said
Okay.
yes. So then we rolled over, went back to sleep.
That's right.
And visions of oyster dressing and Cornish hens danced through my head, and all the fixins.
Yeah, sounds
So
good
that's
to
what
me.
we're going to do tonight. So let's look around this Mrs. Farm and let's get this thing going because I am really technically starving.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to roast some Cornish hens. So when you roast Cornish hens, you probably need to preheat your oven about 400 degrees. Towards the end, if you want to bring that up, put it up by the broiler, turn it up, you can really brown those and
I
crisp
like
that
it
skin
brown.
up.
I like it brown.
And we're gonna start with bacon. How much better can you do than to start a recipe with bacon? Now, the key to good bacon, I think, is not to overcook it. So many people crank that skillet up, they set off the fire alarms, the baby's crying, the dog's biting everybody. You know, it just gets crazy when you get too much heat going on in there. So you don't have to just set the woods on fire in order to start your bacon up. Let it go slow, get all those wonderful juices out. It's called bacon grease. We're gonna use that today. So first of all, what we have learned over the 172 years that we've been doing the show,
Wow.
we have found out that brining chicken keeps the moisture in, whether you're roasting it, whether you're frying it, whether you're even smoking it. It's very important to me to brine it if you can, if you have the time. And you don't have to do it for 24 hours, 6 or 8 hours will be just fine. So what I'm gonna do to prep these little guys, these Cornish hens, we went freezer diving for this. I said, Nikki, please, do we have Cornish hens?
And we did.
And you said yes. And guess who got up and got it out of the freezer?
You did. Wow. That's amazing.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set these chickens over here. This is our brine. Here's our brine recipe that we use for almost everything. So I'm gonna start with the gallon ingredients. Bring it up to a simmer. And here's our cup of brown sugar. Black pepper. Now I like my black pepper. Half a cup of soy. And a little bit of smoked flavor. Some thyme. Okay, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. Just a dash of Worcestershire. Bring it to a simmer, then set it off and then set it in the refrigerator and let it cool. Then you set the bird in there, mix it all up, set it back in the refrigerator and let it go for 12 to 14, 16 hours, depending on how much flavor you want in it. Now I don't mind if a little bit of that brine juice gets in here because I'm gonna put also some chicken broth in here because when this stuff gets to cooking at those high temperatures, what's gonna happen to the bottom of the pan? You're gonna have a mess. We're gonna take the legs, we're gonna tie them together. We're not gonna put stuffing in that. We've figured out that stuffing is not the best thing for chicken. When you do brine that chicken, that salt keeps that moisture content high. Makes it absolutely wonderful. And we gotta put their wings behind their back so they don't fly away. Bacon's looking delicious, smelling delicious, as bacon
good.
does. All right, so now these have already some delicious seasoning in them. We're gonna put a little bit more seasoning on them, just maybe a little rosemary, thyme, some things like that. Now we're gonna have a plate full of food here. We got lima beans, we got corn. Let's see where that's going. We got all kinds of fun stuff coming up. We gotta have some biscuits with this.
yeah.
Even though we already have a bread type thing, we still gotta have some biscuits.
Yeah.
This all, again, came to me in a
dream.
wonderful dream.
Okay.
We're gonna have a plate that's so full of stuff, that would really aggravate your brother. And he can't hear me because I'm whispering.
That's right.
But he's weird. All the food on his plate, he eats it one thing at a time and they
it
can't
can't touch.
He's not weird or anything. I don't want to draw any attention to him, but this is our brother Willie, and he eats his food one thing at a time. So now I'm gonna harvest some of this precious, wonderful bacon grease, and I'm gonna let it cool just a little bit. So if you'll just turn that up a little bit. And I don't need a whole lot here. And there they are, looking at us.
We need to cook them up.
So what I'm gonna do, Miss Farmer, is I'm gonna take this bacon grease and I'm gonna put that on the chicken to help brown,
Yummy.
to help flavor. You get where I'm going? We're gonna put some liquid in here. We're gonna leave the top off because we want that to brown, but we do not want the bottom of that pan scorching, obviously. All right, so we're just gonna get these guys going here. Look at that, that's bacon grease.
Beautiful.
Now they're already gonna have flavor internally from the brine.
Right.
So this adds a little more salt and flavor. Good hickory taste. Oh,
Beautiful.
are you excited?
Can I pour the rest of the grease in here? Just a little
Sure.
bit? Might as well use it up.
So I'm gonna come back, just a little bit of sage. You smell that?
It smells good.
A little bit of thyme. And again, this is nothing super fancy. And just a little bit of a poultry seasoning that we do.
Yummy.
I wish everybody could smell this.
This smells good.
Let's go ahead and pop those in. Now these are gonna take, these are small, these are gonna take an hour, roughly. Same thing you gotta do every time. Make sure they're at least to 165. When you're done, you can put them in aluminum foil, let them set. They'll continue cooking like that for a few minutes, 10, 15 minutes before you cut them. Oh, Mrs. Farmer, I'm getting excited. Nikki, would you take us your handy dandy chopper and chop us some onions?
Do it. Ta-da.
So let's take most of these. That's a medium, would you say the medium yellow
Yeah.
onion? That's beautiful. Now, if you will, can you cut into the heart of this? I'm still, by the way, on a fennel kick, I can't help it. This adds so much to this dish. I love this stuff, especially when it comes to oysters and mussels and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna take our fennel, you can put it in the chopper too, Nikki.
Okay.
And I would say that
Is that enough?
is appropriate. Now trust me on the fennel, give it a shot. You can find them in a lot of major stores and it's absolutely so versatile, so many. It's a subtle flavor, but it is so absolutely wonderful.
It smells so good.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful. Perfect.
That's perfect. Oh, the
Yeah,
smell.
that smells good.
The smell. So we're just gonna let that go till it's translucent. In the meantime, I'm gonna tell you about something. As a kid, I would go to a restaurant here in Kentucky. Now we can't name names on the show, but we'd go to a restaurant where they had pickled beets, but they were warm.
Yeah.
I thought one of these days, when I'm really, really old, like right now, I would start pickling my own beets, which I have done.
Yes.
Now you might not like beets, and that's okay. You don't have, we're not gonna come to your house and say you have to have beets tonight. Now Nikki might,
I might make you.
she's like that.
You know, either you love beets or you don't.
Yeah, there's no middle ground. But,
Your beets are fantastic.
Thank you.
I ate them right out of the jar.
Thank you very much. So what we're gonna do, and that's so simple, but it's such a good side dish. It's
Yeah,
such
it is
a
good.
good side dish with
It is.
chicken, some other things. All right, so we're gonna take our pickled beets. Mrs. Farmer, if there's a way that you cannot turn your fingers purple
Just get the juice.
and just get the juice out.
I can turn a little purple, which is sweet and delicious.
Oh.
I could drink that.
So what I'm going to do is once that gets out, I don't want to burn too much of that juice up. But this is so simple. And it tastes just exactly like what I was looking for. Now one thing I'm going to do here real quick, I'm going to come in with a little French liqueur that has an anise or fennel flavor. Oh, do you smell it?
I do. Oh, wow. Nice.
So I'm going to let that reduce down, and I'm going to put a little bit more in there, and I'm going to start mixing stuff up. And you don't have to have that liqueur, but it would certainly help.
It adds so much.
Okay, so into this mixture, I'm going to put a little bit into our oysters. I'm going to put a little bit of
Chicken broth?
Yep, chicken broth.
Right.
I'm going to also put a little bit of hot sauce, and if you'll squeeze me out just a little bit of lemon in there.
I'll do it.
Got to have hot sauce in this. Now that is not, I promise, Nikki. It's not going to make that terribly hot.
Alrighty.
Promise.
How much lemon juice you want?
Probably whatever will come out of that. So we have, and I didn't measure this out, always save your leftover cornbread and your bread.
Yeah.
Let it dry. You can even dry it on a
tray
in the oven, on a cookie tray. So I want to mix this up just a little bit, and a little bit of our anise or fennel flavoring. I'm going to put some sage into our cornbread and our regular bread. And I didn't measure this out, but you can see it's 2 bowls, which is probably, what, 2 cups per bowl?
Yeah.
Put some sage, some thyme.
Smelling pretty good in here.
Oh, I dreamed about this. So here we are with this part. Oh, can you smell it?
I can smell it.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this the right consistency too.
You first?
Cornbread, regular bread, dried, moisture's out. Start mixing that up. You see where I'm going, Mrs. Farmer?
I do.
So let's start bringing some of those oysters in.
You want to scoop them or you just pour it for you?
Let's go ahead and pour it out
some?
a little bit at a time. I'll mix them up. And again, if you don't have oysters, and if you wanted to do a mock oyster, you could use mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you can use pickled pig's heads.
It would be delicious.
That would be excellent. Our little grandson would say, "That's a joke, Papa."
Yeah.
I would say, "You're correct." Okay, let's go ahead and dump some of that in there.
Want the rest?
Yep. Now you want it to have moisture, but you don't want soup, you want dressing. So we're going to continue to stir that up.
I turned your beets down a little, they're boiling.
And we are going to add what I just call it our slurry. It's just equal parts cornstarch and water.
Stir that up.
We're going to stir that up. Now look at this. Look how thick that is.
Delish.
Now what we're going to do is now pour the beets in there.
Can I put them back? Go ahead.
And just let them lightly simmer. Just keep them warm. And those are ready to go. Now look, this is the consistency we need over here. I know it's really busy and we're all over the place. But if it seems to be a little bit dry, come back with your chicken broth. You know what the consistency of dressing needs to be. What do you think?
Perfect.
Does it look right to you?
It looks really good.
Oh, I'm so excited. So what we're going to do now, that chicken's been going at about 400. We're going to lower the temperature. Then we're going to pop this in here at about 350.
All right.
They're cooking together. And they're going to come out very shortly. This is about 40, 45 minutes.
Alrighty.
All right. One secret with biscuits. Here's our 3-ingredient biscuit that you've seen us do many times on the show.
It's Sally's biscuit.
Sally's
wonderful.
wonderful biscuit.
Yes.
You cannot mess this up.
No.
We probably will today, but you can't mess it up. And the secret about biscuits is there's 2 secrets that we found over the millennia that we've been doing this show. You basically, if you fold it enough, it'll have layers. And then when you cut it, you know, make sure you cut it big enough. But when you cut it, don't twist, push. Because if you twist, you'll seal those layers shut to some degree and you won't have that flakiness there.
Do you want me to fold it for you? I did
Let's
it
do a couple
already.
more folds. I know you've already done it. I'm gonna put just a little bit of oil around this cup. Kelly bought me.
Nice cup.
There's one. I'm excited. Oh. There's 2. And with these biscuits, one thing that makes them special, buttermilk and self-rising flour.
There you go.
One thing great about when I was a kid, we always had bread.
Yeah.
And we used to visit these people that had a huge farm and they had their own bees. And they would make their biscuits. And they were so proud of their honey that they would put their honey on every table.
You loved that, didn't you?
And it was like cheating. I'm like, you mean I get to put honey on a biscuit with butter and eat it right here with everything else? And don't you think I didn't eat a lot of bread
Yes.
that day?
You've never stopped.
Let's pop those in. How long? 450 for 10 minutes. Succotash. That's an old Indian thing where they used to combine corn and some beans and maybe some summer squash and things like that. Over the last several years, they've included okra in the South and tomatoes and so on and so forth. You can change this up however you like. There is no proper or improper way to do it. So I like some butter and maybe a little bacon grease since it's sitting down here. I want this to be more sweet. I don't want any onions in this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take our pepper. Doesn't hurt to have just a little bit of crunch and some color. And this is the only color we had today. Anything you want to put in there that appeals to your taste, that's no problem. Nobody's going to come to your house except maybe Nikki and say you can't do it that way.
That's right.
If you see somebody knocking on your window, you're
Don't
cooking.
answer.
If you're cooking on Sunday and you see her there, just ignore her.
Open the door and feed me.
All the time we get complaints.
Yeah.
The sizzle. Put the corn in
That's
here.
the corn I put up.
This is the corn we just put up.
So
I mean,
it's delicious.
just put it up. This is enough just for serving.
Yummy.
And some lima beans.
I could eat just that for dinner.
I know. And we're not going to go real heavy on the seasoning here, just a little salt, a little pepper. And that is
Delicious.
tonight's version of succotash. It might be different if we had some other stuff available, but this is what we have available. And when we do our show, it's a for sure, for real show. It's what we have at the moment. It's what we might find in the freezer. And these are some things we had, and oh, I was so happy last night when I was up looking around, stumbling around in the middle of the night, trying to find out if we had this or that or the other. And I found everything I wanted. Everything I wanted.
So I'm a good shopper.
You're an amazing shopper.
That's what I thought.
Glad you and Kelly didn't eat all the bacon.
We saved a couple
We're going
pieces.
to put some fat back in there. Good Kentucky bacon. Can't beat it. We're going to add a little bit more butter just to sweeten it up. A little more salt and pepper. And I think we're getting close. Now, if you wanted to, some people do, you could put a dash of sugar in here.
I like that idea.
You do?
I do. I like sugar.
I like that you like that idea.
Sugar's good.
We're at the state fair and we talked to so many people. Gabillions of people, nice people.
Yes.
And we got a lot of people say, hey, did you ever try this? Did you ever try that? Somebody gave you a lemon pie recipe.
4 ingredients.
We brought it home, we tried it. That was dancing in my head last night as well.
So we need lemon pie.
We're kind of at a standstill here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go check the chicken, we're going to go check the dressing, and then we're going to come back and start the lemon pie. And we're going to wrap this thing up in a minute. You're going to see food on the counter.
Yay.
Everything's coming together. We actually pulled the chicken out. I got it set in here.
Looks nice.
A little bit of foil over it. Can't show you yet, top secret. Let's get this lemon pie going because I am starving.
Alrighty, and it's only 4 ingredients, and you need a blender, and you can make it so quick. I've made a homemade pie dough, but I've already got it in there, and we have that recipe online if people want it. And we're gonna use, I've washed this lemon, and we're gonna use this whole lemon. We just don't want seeds. So we're gonna take the ends off. We obviously don't want the ends, but I'm gonna cut this in about 4 slices. See how we can see the seeds
You
here?
want to pick your seeds out for you?
Yes, thank you. You can cut it more if you want to get the seeds, but we just don't want any seeds.
I'm a seed picker.
And this one's got a lot of seeds. The last one did not have seeds that I did. It's got lots of seeds.
I'm excited about this meal. I tell you what, it's not very often, seriously, when I wake up and think, okay, I want this specific. Everything, I just thought about it all night long. And again, it's not terribly complicated, but it's just a good elegant Southern dining, let's say that.
Yes, it is. All right, so we got all our seeds out.
Did I do good
Very
on
good.
the seeds?
You did.
I'm an amazing seed picker?
You are. And before I start those, we got 1 stick of butter. Like I said, there's only 4 ingredients. A lemon,
I like that.
stick of butter, cup of sugar, and 4 eggs. That is it. And these were people from the fair that gave us these wonderful recipes. I just want to melt this. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. I ain't scared.
All right, that's chopped up. And as we add stuff, it's going to chop more. But we're going to melt our butter now. That's our next ingredient. Butter. stop for a second.
Now we're using turbinado sugar, and we just happen to have some, and it
Yeah.
worked out well.
Yes, I love it.
You don't have to use it.
No. All right, now all we have left is 4 eggs.
Okay.
See how simple this is?
That's where you get your firmness. You don't use flour
Right.
here.
This is it, and we're gonna cook this. So I'm gonna one at a time put the eggs in. That's it. Some people,
That is almost too easy.
yeah, some people put vanilla, which you could, but we did not, with a nice lemon taste. And we are gonna cook this at 350 for 45 minutes. Can I get me that spatula over there?
Yes.
Right behind you.
I'm excited. Now this is a real kitchen. Sorry about the mess. We'll clean it up in a minute. But look, we got a dirty sink.
That's right.
That makes me happy.
Let's cook this pie. 350 for 45 minutes.
Does the dirty sink make you happy?
Yeah, because you're gonna clean that up, right? Uh-huh.
So how long are we cooking this?
45 minutes, 350.
That'll be perfect. Time we get done eating, we'll have a pie
Bye
ready.
bye.
Pie.
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 Pie. Whatever. I'm getting the pie.
I think I'm right.
It's perfect.
That's a beautiful pie.
It needs to cool for a little bit.
These are cool. What's that mean? Oh, we got biscuits in the oven. Let's pull one, open it up, let it cool, put butter on it, put honey on it, and we'll be ready to go. Are you excited?
I am. I'm ready
Are
to
you,
eat.
are you excited as I am?
Yes, I'm
Let me
beyond-
see your excited look.
I'm
Here's
beyond
mine.
excited. That looks scary.
I think
not
I'm more excited. All right, where do you want to start?
I don't know. Do you want to try a piece of your hen there?
You were looking at that pie.
I know.
You can't do that yet. Mom,
gotta wait.
Mom will be mad.
Get you a little piece here.
I'll give me some of that skin too. All right, I want you to look at the juice that's running out of there. And it is at temperature, a little bit above.
That's sweet and delicious. That's sweet and delicious. Wow.
Now see, it retained that salt from that brine.
Yes, it did.
And I just gotta say, the bacon grease.
Wow, that's really good.
Oh.
Delish. Stuffing? I don't even want to wait. A lot of flavors in that. Yum. That's really good. You spice that up
I
delicious.
thought about this all night long.
That's really good.
Oh. Okay, I gotta go on to the next thing.
I want to try the next thing. That's right. I want to try it all.
I was gonna dig into that dressing again.
That's delicious. too.
Succotash, dig it.
Buttery, salty,
dig it?
delicious. I love it. Very good. And I need a beet. I need to try them all. These are like dessert to me.
Oh,
Those are good.
you forgot the biscuit. If you don't eat it, you won't get any.
I noticed that.
Oh my.
Oh wow. You outdid yourself again.
And the beets.
I think it's time to eat all this up.
Pure, simple, Southern elegance.
Delicious.
Can I please have a bite of your
You may.
lemon pie? Look at this. Look at that. Is it beautiful?
That is
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
in there. So
It's
simple.
beautiful.
Simple. Hey, that's a big bite.
Well, if the camera wasn't on, it'd be a lot bigger.
I know it would.
Oh my. You know what I really like about that? The turbinado sugar. Has just a little crunch to it still. Oh my goodness.
And the lemon pieces, pieces of lemon in there. I could just eat pie.
I'm really happy right now, but I'm gonna be happier in a minute when we shut the cameras down and I can dive into this.
Eat
Food will be flying everywhere. The walls will be covered. It'll be a mess.
So this is your plate.
But Kelly, I'm sure will clean it up.
I'll go get my own plate.
Okay. So, wow. Here we go,
Delicious.
Ms. Farmer. If somebody would very politely come up to you and say, Mrs. Farmer, where could I possibly get your recipes?
I'd say timfarmerscountrykitchen.com.
I've been there.
Have you?
Also, we have a Facebook page. It's so worrisome to get on there. There's so many steps. Or is there?
There's a lot of steps.
What are they?
You hit like.
That's it?
Yes.
Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
That's right.
Facebook page. Come join us. We talk about all kinds of stuff over there, usually food related. Now, sadly, our half hour is up,
That's right.
but not sadly, we're beginning our 11th season
Wow.
today.
Wow.
Today. So, that being said, our half hour's up, but you'll see us next week with a brand new show. And Ms. Farmer, it's basically all about
Good times.
good friends.
Really good eats.
We'll see you next week. And after we gain 26 pounds.
That's right.
We have been catering for a lot of years, and I wanted everything to have a specific taste. Therefore, I had to come up with my own products.
Right.
A dry rub, chow chow, and our barbecue sauce are something that we use in all our catering gigs. I developed this barbecue sauce that is not the really thick, syrupy stuff that you get. This has more of a natural, it's got some pepper and onion flavor in it. You can actually see the particulates in there. You know, a lot of people are asking what we use our dry rub on. Now, obviously, pork and chicken are two of the more common things. Also, we've been using on our corn on the cob with butter.
That is.
I'm telling you, this
just
stuff
wonderful.
with potatoes is fantastic. So 40 years in the making, Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Dry Rub.